Michigan did not broadcast their spring game, but Bryce Underwood played his first game in the Big House as a Michigan quarterback, wore a non-contact jersey, and his stat line left some to be desired, completed less than 50% of his passes, and had an interception. But I'm just here to tell you, man, one, it's a spring game. That's first of all. Second of all, don't let Twitter quarterbacks tell you who's good and who's not at college football, especially not based on a spring game. All right, we'll unpack that together right now. If you're a Michigan fan, make sure you are subscribed. Y'all been good to us. We appreciate you being good to us. Keep subscribing. We will keep giving you what you want, which is, of course, Michigan content. So thank you for that. So the highlight, though, that came from the spring game that got us juiced, man, in terms of spring propaganda, we got this clip here, courtesy of our guy on the Twitter sphere of a Bryce Underwood flea flicker. I believe it's Maze Mania, if I'm not mistaken here. Check this out, man. Maze Mania doing the Lord's work. Got a little reverse flea flicker down the sideline. Jalen Hoffman, turn on the Jets. Last play of the spring game, 88 yards. He could go all the way. Crib me that and don't wake up the baby. Make sure you got the sound machine on all the way. Look at the emotion. Boys having fun in Ann Arbor, man. Finish up the spring. I'm all about that. I'm all about that, dude. So I know a lot of people like to play Twitter quarterback and say it's a sack. He's not getting it off in a real game. It underthrew it, whatever. Like, first of all, 88 yards when your longest pass play last year, I keep saying this, I'm going to drive it home, was 36 yards. Miss me with all of that. Matter of fact, swing again and miss me twice. That's strike two. Also, your 36-yard pass play, for everyone telling you this play would never happen in a real game, your 36-yard pass play came on the exact same play. Reverse flea flicker, out to Colston Loveland, went for 36. Fair amount of it was yak. You make no apologies. This could and has worked in a game. Didn't work for Michigan in a game last year to the tune of an 88-yard touchdown, but it works. So that's the spring propaganda part of it. Now let's dial into the actual spring game, because I told you, stat line wasn't awesome, dude. I mean, completed less than 50% of his passes. He had the pick. He's a super talented true freshman. He's the future at Michigan. He's going to start this year as a true freshman. I feel very confident in saying that, okay? To me, though, spring games, especially spring games with guys that are talented and are sort of raw in the context of not playing a lot of college football, like a Bryce Underwood, who's 17 years old, early enrollee, it's a lot like a first date with someone that you kind of know, maybe had a crush on, maybe there's some good rapport there. I don't know what it's like in terms of like your first date experience, but you catch my drift. You don't need the first date to know there's going to be a second date. The first date's kind of a formality. That's kind of the spring game to me here, man. Like Bryce Young, I really believe he's going to start for you unless he had just gone out there and thrown 4 picks, unless you go out there and you just totally blow the date and you're a half hour late, an hour late, and you're saying a bunch of things you shouldn't say. Like, I don't really have a ton to give here when it comes to taking these massive negatives away from Bryce Underwood. Like, Bryce Underwood's stat line to me does not tell the entire story of what he did. Now, the spring game broadcast is going to come out a little bit later. Sharon Moore and co. playing a little bit of chess here. They said, okay, we'll put out the spring game post-transfer portal cycle. Okay, I'm here for it. But the clips that I saw on social media, including that one, you just like to see the juice. You like to see the juice, and you like to see the tools that are different about a Bryce Underwood relative to what you've had previously at the quarterback position. That's not knocking J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy wasn't a 60-yard touchdown run waiting to happen at quarterback. And it wasn't, I mean, I'm going back and forth on what I hear about Bryce Underwood's weight. If he's 208 like the roster says, that's a big 208. I see some people saying he said he was 228 on the Rich Eisen show. I don't know. It's a big dude who's a cannon for an arm who can take off and run. Like the first date, you don't even really open it up all the way, do you? You don't really put on your best, performance necessarily when it comes to picking the best restaurant. Or, I mean, for me personally, my first date with my wife, I was a little bit tight. Okay, I wasn't necessarily opening up the personality all the way. We're still getting to know each other. It's a first date. It's a spring game. Bryce Underwood runs a 4.5, has a non-contact jersey on, bro. You think that's actually indicative of what he's going to be when it comes time to play games in October or when Ohio State comes to town the last weekend of the season? No, of course not, bro. Of course not. So the Twitter quarterback's trying to tell me about the underthrows and the misses and this and that and the completion. One, you probably weren't there. That's first of all. Second, you probably have another rooting interest. More power to you. I have no issue with fans being toxic, but if you want to talk about this in the context of actual college football, then let's talk about it. And third, if you weren't there, a lot of people that were there are saying, hey, the stat line says this, but actually had a couple of throws that were dimes that just got dropped. A couple of plays where Bryce Underwood probably would have taken off and gotten positive yardage that they're calling dead, or they're blowing it early, whatever. The playbook's limited. You split the team up. I'm here for the good stuff. I'm here for all the good stuff, none of the bad stuff when it comes to spring games for the most part here, especially with a guy who has those tools like a Bryce Underwood. Going back to what we said, Cato and I getting ready for this show made a great point talking about what you want to see from your young cats in a spring game. He compared it to a pro day, and that's kind of what I think we were all looking at with Bryce Underwood. Just show me the difference maker traits that you have. Show me the flick of the wrist down the field there for an 88-yard touchdown. Show me that you are the difference maker physically that we were told you were going to be when you committed to play for us, when you signed to play for us. Because I'll tell you what, physically, he is that difference maker. Once he gets all the way acclimated to college football, I mean, it's going to be a very, very difficult time for the rest of the Big Ten, in my humble opinion. But you can't, in modern college football, go win with Jacob Coker anymore. And that's not me dunking on Jake Coker. Dude's got a national title to his name, more power to him. But you look at the college football playoff last year at the quarterback position, there's difference makers everywhere at quarterback, all over the place. Like 10 of the 12 playoff teams, I would say, had a true dude at quarterback that could change the game for them. When it came to the fourth quarter and they had a chance to go win the football game, 10 of those 12 teams, I believe, wanted their quarterback to have the football. I believe that. Now, we'll maybe circle back on those two another time, but the bottom line is I think you have that now with Bryce Underwood. He can be that. He can be that. So those screaming about the stat line or the underthrow or this or that, it's a spring game. We love it. I love the juice. I love the throw. Just sit tight a little bit, all right? Sit tight a little bit when it comes to the Bryce Underwood slander. We'll see how this thing plays out. But the tools are there, man. The tools are absolutely there when you talk about what number 19 is going to be for you, especially when he turns 18. He's 17 right now. Regardless, the show goes on for Bryce Underwood and for us here on the Hard Count.